Everyone, episode 85. It's the West Coast POPcast here. We got a very special episode. We got some stuff we're going to talk about here. We got some games to play, and of course, promo school at the end. We are joined by the one and only from Rated R For Rasslin, Anthony. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. It's always a pleasure to be on with you guys. I love you guys. You love the channel, love West Coast Podcast. You guys have been great. Done a lot of stuff with you guys in the past, and it is awesome to finally be back on your channel to talk about whatever the hell is going on right now in wrestling.
Good. If you are not familiar with his channel, check it out. It's a lot of good stuff on there. He is gearing up again to start up. If you want to maybe touch on what your channel has been and where you're going from here, but just before you do that, got to introduce the man himself who puts the show together. Eric, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing A-okay. Last week, I was the gangster of love. This week, I am the great pretender, wearing my heart like a crown. And I'm excited to have Anthony here this week. The king has returned to the channel. It's always great to have you here, man.
It's always great to be on here with you guys, man. But in response to Zach, so the channel itself, it's kind of changed up quite a bit just because of what happened to me in my personal life, but also the fact that WWE has been dropping the hammer on my channel in terms of blocking majority of my content for copyright reasons. Who knows if it's them? Who knows if it's just YouTube? I don't know, but they're coming at me hard. So I got to really switch up the channel. So it's no more reviews as I was doing before with my brother of every show during the week. So now it's just going to be a few talking head videos about topical issues, topical stuff going on in professional wrestling, some booking, some fantasy booking, some, rants, other stuff like that, covering old stuff that's happened, past WWE and wrestling. It's going to be a lot of fun, changing it up a little bit. So you can thank WWE for having to see my face more and more and more instead of seeing me do voiceover stuff and seeing clips and shit like that.
That's cool. And subscribe to him so you know when the content drops, and also leave comments. He does reply, and he isn't a bullshitter. Like, oh, thank you so much for commenting. Like, you'll have a discussion with him. It's great stuff. So definitely subscribe.
Yes. I will definitely talk back to you. Yeah, definitely will.
As you can see, the Mets thing in the background there. He is an East Coast
unfortunately,
guy.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Real quick, I just want to say, anyone who's I've already gotten 2 private messages on my own personal messenger and comments saying the sound is low. YouTube is weird, man. It's very weird. I apologize. Let us know if it gets better. I'm trying everything I can right now to fix it, but I don't know. I guess for right now, you guys might have to speak up a little louder, even though you're speaking perfectly well.
Oh man,
raise the volume to 110.
Yeah. Thanks for bearing with us again. YouTube is a bitch to work with. We're gonna jump into the week in review. I just want to give a shout out Primetime in the chat. Say everyone, how you doing, buddy? We're gonna get into that next one after we touch on the week in review. Primetime. Topics today, Primetime, week in review. We're going to do some East Coast versus West Coast stuff, promo school at the end, and we're going to discuss what is going on with The Rock and WWE. And also, Supersonic X in the chat. Good evening, Zach, Eric, and Tony. Supersonic X, always great to have you on here.
Always.
All right, let's get into it. Raw is bore. Monday Night Raw. I had to ask Eric before we started if what I was talking about was this week or last week, because this shit just runs into each other 3 hours after 3 hours after 3 hours. I don't know what I did to this channel to piss him off to make me watch this every Monday night, but we started off with RK Bro and the Dirty Dogs. Bex is really bad at talking smack. I'm not fully digging her character. We have 2 sets of new champions.
Do we?
Zelena and Carmella are the new women's tag team champions, so we'll get to see them once a month. And also, Eric, do you know who the new 24/7 champion is?
No. They didn't just burn that title in the fires of Mount Doom yet?
Oh, no, they won't do that yet, and I love your reference to the thumbnail. Anthony, do you know who the new 24/7 champ is?
Is it Corey Graves?
Oh, he was last week.
He was last week. That's what you see.
Together.
Just like you said. That's exactly. I thought it was Corey Graves. That was last week. I have no idea.
It is, and if you make mind, please go easy with these Brazzer memes. It is Dana Brooke.
Oh yes, it is. I've seen the Brazzer memes. I've seen them. Yeah, hilarious stuff.
Yeah.
Well, my Google search is about to get pretty nasty. Yeah.
You want to clear that browser history afterwards quickly.
Yeah,
you never know who's lurking.
Raw.
Vince
We do know that Austin.
Are you winning, son?
Look at all that beef. All right. Who was lurking? Austin Theory. He was behind the egg being snatched from Survivor Series. So in theory, this was a nice way to get someone new into the main event, but this was really stupid, stemming from the Survivor Series Red Notice stuff. We'll talk about this when we talk about The Rock, because it ties into stuff going on to The Rock. But that is Raw. If you have any comments on Raw, give them in the chats. I despise watching this every Monday.
Yeah. I think last time you were here, Anthony, I was talking about how I was very close to stop watching WWE as a whole. I pulled the plug. I hate that it's happened when Big E's champion, while Xavier's King of the Ring, and while Dragunov is still presumably NXT UK champion. I haven't been following, but I can't do it anymore. So Zach is just biting the bullet for all of it.
I mean, shout out to Zach, because like you said, he's carrying the channel at this moment, right? Correct?
Yes,
on his back. And that includes dealing with the nonsense that is Monday Night Raw. And like you said, it sucks that it's when Big E's the champion that they still couldn't kind of get the show on track and get it to a better spot. The product overall between Raw and SmackDown, it's still the big disparity between the two, like I think it was prior. But maybe it's gotten worse. But with Big E being champion, it feels like they don't know how to book a good guy champion. Was that what it is? Or do they not know how to book anybody other than Roman Reigns? And is that because Roman Reigns books himself? Who the hell knows what's going on with that, deal there? It just doesn't make a ton of sense. And again, Xavier Woods, it feels like everybody's, clamoring for the New Day guys to be their own single superstars. And when we get them, it feels like WWE just kind of like, okay, we gave you what you wanted. But we're not really going to go all that far into it after that. We're just going to bank on you guys just being happy that we gave these guys the shot they deserved and that you wanted us to give them. That's what it feels like. And with Raw, again, I still thought Corey Graves was 24/7 champion. I now remember it's Dana Brooke, but these weeks still all kind of run together in some weird mishmash of just garbage. I don't know what else to say.
Right. Yeah, it's weird because, as much as WWE loves pulling back old people, you look back at the older episodes of Raw, you knew what each one was. They were distinct. They all felt unique. Now it's just, same match. Oh, what? This person, they beat them last week, so of course we got to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes no sense.
They gave Raw somewhat of a facelift with some of the graphics and a little bit of the intro. And it's like they just do as little as possible to make the show change for the better.
Right.
I just fucking hate you, Raw. A couple things in the chats really quick here. Primetime 24/7 title or the digital media title, gentlemen?
Digital media.
Yeah, I would say digital media, yeah. I guess you would, I don't know how, but you wouldn't be able to defend it the way you do currently, right? If it's digital media, you have to do it like only on Twitter or only on Peacock or something like that if it's digital media championship, right?
Impact Plus usually it's on.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So, would you rather be a clown on TV or be invisible?
Invisible.
R-Truth made it work, but yeah.
But I'm saying I think WWE should, take something like that, like the digital media championship, but maybe call it the social media championship, or put the little bird from Twitter on it if they can, copyright reasons. But do it like that. Just do it on a streaming service like how Impact does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than the nonsense we're getting now. They probably could have a lot more fun with it, more production. They could do green screen work, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. If I could pull
they
it
could.
Studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. What else we got? Supersonic X. I'm pretty much tired of fans of Asuka and Kairi Sane saying that the Kabuki Warriors are still the longest reigning women's tag champions. Way worse than Raw itself.
I love you, Supersonic X. I'm not making fun of you. Out of everything, they're like, yo, I watched these 3 hours of Raw, but I am tired of people getting these facts wrong. Everything else is perfect.
Primetime, Big E should have won at Survivor Series so he doesn't come off as a secondary to Roman. I fully agree. That was the time to give him a loss. Anthony, you watched Survivor Series. Do you think they made the right move, or do you think Big E should have won?
No, I think it's the right move. It's cool Big E's champion, but again, they don't really know how to really book that type of stuff properly. Like I said, they don't even know how to book Roman Reigns. So you still got to keep that mystique about Roman Reigns. He still is the tippity top guy. Nobody comes close to him. And it's just the kind of like, he's the golden egg for WWE. So you kind of got to keep him where he is. And I don't think anybody's going to complain too much about it.
Right.
I want him to change his name to the tippity top guy.
Tippity.
Tippity.
Snoop Dogg comes back.
Tippity tappity. Ooh wee. Prime time. First social media champion should be King Woods. King Woods could just do anything.
Yeah.
If you find online, he got they showed him on Attack of the Show on G4 right before they're going on air, getting the alert that his coworkers were getting fired. He had to step away and say, sorry, my coworkers are getting fired.
Oh,
I wonder if he got in trouble for that from the office.
Man, I'm glad it was a second gig.
Yeah, you always got to diversify.
Exactly.
Yeah,
just in case, you never know.
Did you see him,
let's go.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
Did you see him do the video with Adam Sessler talking about the greatest video game ever made?
No.
So
what was it?
The video game that I play the most on this channel, Fire Pro Wrestling World.
Okay.
I think Raw versus SmackDown 2006 was like his second choice because he's always playing that for GM mode, but Fire Pro Wrestling blew it out the water. Hopefully Vince didn't see that.
Another one. You got to make sure you have multiple streams of income because you never know.
That's true.
Yep.
You never know.
All right. NXT 2.0. Waller versus Ciampa kicked it off. This Waller guy, they turned him heel for absolutely some surprising reason. I don't know, but Cameron Grimes is going to have a hair versus hair match at War Games against the poker player. I don't care to remember his name, just like this whole fucking new cast. I'm not digging at all. Ivy Nile is good. I do like her. And what is the guy? Gacy came to the ring, the Brock Lesnar looking kid. He came into the ring with an oversized jumpsuit, and the crowd started chanting Michael Myers, rightfully so. Trash that shit. It was awful, and he just stands there like Michael Myers.
Is that bad? I don't know. I could kind of see if I came out and people were chanting Michael Myers, I'd be like, you know what? I might buy into this. I might play into this.
It doesn't work because the suit is like, it's too big. It's like made for a guy bigger than him, and he's a big dude, so it's ridiculous.
It's called big dick energy, Zach. You gotta walk around like you got it. Hangman does it.
I'll Google that later. Anthony, are you into anything on NXT 2.0?
No, I mean, like, all right, so the whole Cameron Grimes, Duke Hudson, aka Brendan Vink. Remember the Brendan Vink days from the empty arenas on Monday Night Raw? No, I'm not really into it. I saw Grimes cut like a passionate promo with tears in his eyes and all that stuff like that. I don't really think it really warrants it that much. I like Grimes as a character, but yeah, I'm not really feeling what's going on right now. Now, when I first saw like what the men's War Games was, I felt like it was just like, okay, we have all these guys that we know are proven commodities in NXT. Let's just try to grab a few of the new guys in the back, feud them up, make them bad guys. We'll feud them with these guys and we'll throw them in War Games. It seems to be like the least anticipated War Games match and also least impactful when it comes to the people in the match itself. If you look at the graphic, it's like this team and then like why the hell are all these guys put together to face that team? It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. It's that weird blending of, like they said in the broadcast, the old school versus the new school. It's kind of odd.
Even though LA Knight isn't old school, but
exactly, he's not.
Exactly. Oh man, and like I think Vince Russo is back writing for them because this is what was it, the Young Bloods or whatever in WCW?
Oh
like
yeah,
Hero and everyone else, and Billy Kidman, where Hogan openly, like, he had this camera on him like this, took the blade out, like fucking unwrapped it from the package, did this. I think he thought about it for a second because he didn't want to get an owie, but then did it anyways on camera. Is the worst blade job in history. But that's what this reminds me of, and I'm just not here for it.
Right.
Definitely has the same kind of feels to it as that did.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited for the women's War Games match? This one I think could be the better of the two, but again, the greenery of Toxic Attraction might hinder it.
Yeah, that's what scares me because Mandy Rose is doing like the run of her career, but I mean, you got to walk before you can run, and you don't just go from run to War Games. That's not how that works. So I'm a little worried about that, but we'll see.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with, like, especially like you said, Toxic Attraction, how they deal with the big spots. That's the thing. Like when they deal with the big spots that War Games entails, because it's going to have them. They're always going to have them. It's always going to be a part of it. Do they take part in that, or are they just people on the bottom catching everybody? How's that going to play? Are they going to actually use them in that aspect, like having them do a big spot? Because she is, Mandy, the NXT Women's Champion. So by just by that, she has to do something big and major in the match because she is the top dog in the women's division on NXT right now.
Agree?
Yeah. Completely agree.
We'll see. I still don't know if I'm gonna watch War Games, but we'll see. Let's touch on SmackDown really quick, and then we'll just go into AEW in general. SmackDown, they had their 25-man over-the-top battle royal to find out who is going to face Roman Reigns next. I was very happy when it was Jeff Hardy, but oh no, it was Sami Zayn. Do you guys think this is the right choice?
Ooh, I'm actually interested in that because if it was Jeff Hardy, then I'm kind of bored by that. It's just gonna be Roman beating up a veteran face. It's gonna be clean, but Sami Zayn can make anything exciting.
That's true.
For me, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's more believable, him versus Hardy or him versus Sami Zayn. I don't think either of them are. But maybe, like I keep saying, I've been saying this for a while. I think Sami Zayn, in the end, long-term storytelling, the conspiracy WWE has against him ends up being true. And Roman could play a massive role in that, maybe starting right here. Because Roman is the guy anointed by the company as the top, tippity top guy there. So, I guess I agree with Eric. I do. Like, Jeff Hardy would have been super, super obvious. It's just like, okay, he's going to beat him up quick. Match is over. That's it. But Sami Zayn throws a little bit of a wrinkle. Not saying anybody thinks he's going to win or he should win, but he make it a little bit more interesting because the toughest thing with Roman is actually finding him legitimate people that make you feel at home that, oh, Roman might lose this match. Right. There's not really many of them, if any.
And that's all because of WWE. Like, they have people who, like, you can just put their name on a card. I'm like, yeah, this person could definitely give a damn great match, but they've just kind of buried all their talent.
I mean, personally, I made a video about that, but WWE decided to block it as well, so.
Oh, boy.
They didn't do about
that. Shit company.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next company, AEW. Dynamite and Rampage again tape back to back. So we had Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving leftovers. We'll touch briefly on this. You guys, your thoughts on Punk versus MJF? I didn't know we were going to get this on the mic this soon. Obviously, Quiet Time Marshall was in Gorilla, checking his watch as to when he can actually appear on TV. But we got the promo that we've been waiting for. Anthony, did you check this one out?
Yes, I did. It was the promo we've been waiting for. Like, I've been waiting for like two guys for Punk to really feud with. One of them was Jon Moxley, because I think between the two of them, they can get very, very personal, very, very physical. The two promo styles, the snarky, brash that is CM Punk against a visceral type promo like a Jon Moxley would work perfectly. But the other guy was MJF, because MJF, he breaks that fourth wall constantly, and he did here. Now, I am biased though. I love a good needle dick chant, so I'm cool with it. I thought it was cool. I'm down with it. I like it, man. It's gonna be fun. I just hope that they keep the way they've been going, because MJF can get a little bit, I don't know, he could be a little bit too much at times, that I hope they don't try to change how, or not, they're not going to change it, but Punk changes the way he cuts his promo in return to MJF. If they keep it the same dynamic that they have now, I think it could be like, feud of the year, easy.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Eric.
I'm glad MJF showed up for this, because he's always kind of wavering on that like next level. Like, one promo he'll hit it, next promo might fall flat. I don't know if he went shot for shot with Punk, but he definitely kept up with it. Like, at the end, they both delivered. It's been a while since we've seen like a 20-minute. Well, WWE does it sometimes with Roman Reigns, but a good 20-minute promo to start the show. I think a lot of people are going to go back to this from like years from now. That this might be one of AEW's best promos, like segments.
I do think that they shouldn't continue to use those WWE references. I think there's a good one time to use it.
Yes.
Next, as you go on, I wouldn't even use the UFC stuff too much, because it's a little bit too easy. I would probably just, make it more personal, maybe personal life stuff, rather than take the WWE approach, because that's like, I don't know. They do that a little bit too much. But it could be like awesome. Like, could be, like I said, feud of the year.
Yeah. I think any other, because that was Chicago, right? Or was that the place?
Yes.
That's okay. I think any other place, I would have complained a bit more about them using those references, but Chicago ate it up, and that crowd reaction is also what boosted that to like a top tier segment. So
Yep. Yeah. Anthony, you hit on the head too. Lay off the WWE stuff. Glad they got it out of their system, but it's time to, if you really, really want to wow me, I did like this a lot, but if you want to wow me, don't go for the easy shots. Again, Punk mentioned that. And I'm excited for this feud, and I hope it lasts longer than just until the next pay-per-view.
Yeah. If they have balls next week, musical Debonair Part 2, Punk and MJF singing, make him laugh.
What else happened on Dynamite? Wrestling worlds are blurring together.
Cody got booed, probably.
That's right.
Pretty consistent.
Do you guys think? Yeah. Do you guys think this is warranted? Do you guys think this is the internet acting up? And do you guys think that Andrade should not have thrown the belt under the ring and let a moment be?
I feel wait, was that this was the man tag?
Yeah, was it 8 or 4?
Oh, you're right. This wrestling world does blur together. Yeah, if it was this week, then I guess my heart goes out to Cody, because that seeing him throw it back, seeing his face, that sucked. It almost hit Aubrey. The guy has terrible fucking aim. Like, don't fucking hit Aubrey. But
right,
it's half and half. It's half Cody needs to reset his character, and half the internet needs to chill out.
Yeah.
So the big thing is that he threw the belt back.
So remember Cena's shirt back in the One Night Stand? They did that with the belt, but they only did it once. I think it would have kept going, but Andrade grabbed it and threw it under the ring because I think he felt disrespected from the fans, or he didn't want that, whatever. But yeah, it was that moment.
I mean, like, the way I see it is like it's a weightlifting belt, so it can be a little bit dangerous, right? That's what they threw.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be a little bit dangerous because you know how it has like the hook pieces that the belt has, so that's a little bit dangerous. I'd probably use something a little bit softer than a belt. So maybe he did it for that reason, and that reason only. It was like, you know, this kind of dangerous. Let me throw this thing under the ring because they're going to start throwing it back and forth. You know, maybe that. But in terms of you got to be a little bit more. How do you say? Like it's very organic. Something like that happens. So you kind of have to improvise it a little bit, and you know, whether this is the right decision or not, maybe for safety reasons, he did it. That's why maybe the referee was like, look, throw it into the ring real quick because it's dangerous. I don't know. But honestly, you probably would have got a better segment if they would have kept back and forth with it.
Yeah. I dig that. I could definitely see Andrade thinking this like the beach ball for Cesaro. It was like,
no, true, yeah.
Like, just watch the fucking match, people.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of them could be just like, oh, I'm down with them shitting on Cody. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh man, I don't know how Cody fixes it, because now I'm thinking maybe even absence can't fix it. Maybe going away, he just comes back. If he's doing the same thing, they're just gonna boo him again.
I don't know either. I know he needs to shorten that intro up though, but Zemo, I'm going to get to you and what you have to talk about in a bit. So if you want to leave as many comments as you can about it, I will read them all off because I am still not up to date on that exactly, but we will talk about what you're talking about in the chat here. But he does say the stupid belt was more over than Cody. Yes, it was.
It was.
What else happened on Dynamite, man? I'm so like...
we had... So this is how I feel like everything just blurs together, because this was Bryan Danielson versus Boom Boom Colt Cabana.
Yes,
yeah.
When he knocked the tooth out.
That's right. Did you like Hangman's... because he gave a promo afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you like that promo? He comes out and he's basically challenging Bryan again, saying we could do this right here, right now.
This is what he needs to do. It's a cowboy way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna play the outlaw thing up and really, you're the champ. I mean, really go all in with the cowboy stuff and really be the outlaw kind of gimmick.
I don't know. I think during his intro, I think it's a cross between Red Dead and Yellowstone. So during his intro, I think they should have like the thing in Red Dead where it shows him either being a good cowboy or going like the other way, so we can gauge it each week.
That would be awesome. I love that. It would perfectly work too with the graphics, the custom graphics every single week. So I'd take it.
Yep.
What else happened? I'm trying to think what other big thing. Nothing really. I don't think so. Was anything in the chat that people want to talk about? But I can't remember this episode of Dynamite that well.
Yeah. It was just matches, and we'll just go right into Rampage right away, too, because it was leftovers and segments trailing into the Rampage matches. But you had Fish and Cole facing, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, 20 hours of wrestling I watched this week, and I can't even fucking remember it. Yeah, they had a match against Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta. I mean, so Rampage is what it is. It's a wrestling show. They really don't advance storylines on it. Do you think Rampage is good enough, Anthony? Do you think they're not really doing what they said they're going to do with Rampage? Or do you think it's fine how it is?
See, I don't like the formula of it's like, there's going to be like at least 3 matches on the show type of thing. I think they have to have, I say start the show off, since they always start Dynamite off with like some 6-man or some tag match or some really long intro match, start Rampage off with an advancement or a continuation of a storyline, and then you can do your subsequent 2 matches after that. I would say with Rampage, they need to change the formula up just a little bit, make it more of the show that isn't so cookie cutter, and make it flow a little bit differently. So it does feel like a completely different show, because if they say it's just a wrestling show, I mean, so is Dynamite, because they have a ton of matches every Dynamite for the most part, and the matches last a long time. They really need to change the flow of that show so it feels completely different. Aesthetically, it's almost the same, other than the intro and the lightning and stuff like that, than Dynamite. I really think they got to change the flow of that show. Not to say it's bad, but advance the storyline in the beginning, and then do subsequent 2 matches afterwards, or do a Rampage where there's no matches, or just 1 match, and then do a bunch of segments and throughout the show that advance storylines. You can make it must-watch TV where you do stuff that you wouldn't expect, because right now Rampage feels like a show that like you may not get like that big of a surprise on. Make it kind of like anything can happen on Rampage type of thing. You got to tune in, because it doesn't really feel to me personally that anything can happen, because it definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, feels like the secondary show.
Right.
Which it is, obviously, but it feels that way even more.
Right. Like you should never give the feeling that your secondary show is a secondary show. Like otherwise, why go to it? Why not just go to the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Anthony's doing that now is good. They're going to be taping them back to back for, I think, going into February. That's a long time to be doing that. So they've had 1, maybe 2 live Rampages. I do think they need some kind of format change to make me. I'm going to tune into Dynamite anyways, but to make a casual viewer want to tune into Dynamite, other than listing off the matches that are going to happen next week on Dynamite.
Right.
I mean, I'm down with. It's logistically, it's interesting, right? Because like they normally, is Rampage going to stay in the same exact arena that Dynamite is on if it's live? Because logistically, that's kind of odd, right? Like when in terms of like you're renting an arena for 2 hours on a Wednesday and then 1 hour on a Friday, how does that work? If it's an arena that has a professional sports team or events that take place, logistically, it's odd between the two. I went to a Dynamite and I thought it was awesome that you get all those things. You get like Dark Elevation, Dynamite, and Rampage all the same night. I think that's cool for a person live. I think it gives you a ton of value for what you pay for. If it goes live by itself, I think it's going to be kind of odd. If logistically is what I always think, but they should keep it the way it is, but just change the format of the show, how it runs.
Did you get bogged down when you went?
No, it was tons of fun. It was so much fun. It's so much fun. It's a lot. It was a lot of. It's way more fun than WWE because not to say that one is better than the other. I don't want to like go on a tangent on that, but it's more of I don't know the feeling of it because it just feels new. It feels different. Not to say like everything they do is good. They're far from that, but it's that new feeling, and there's a lot of things that get you involved. Like you literally go. I literally went hoping to sing along with Jurassic Express song, Judas. That's like I was dying just to do those 2 things and do the Adam Cole baby, like all that stuff. Like the fan interaction is probably was the most fun about it.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I want any show that has Rampage or Raw should do this. One or the other. They need to do this. You don't know what kind of place they're going to be in each week. It can be small and look like when Raw first started. It can be big in a stadium. Each week should be different. You have writers. Both shows do. You know how to plan this and you know how to book this. And this way it's different and it doesn't look like the show we just watched earlier in the week.
I mean, like, people, I think people, they don't really pay attention to those little details. Like the viewer will, I think, when you make something look different visually, people are gonna take notice of that. And I think if you do that with a secondary show or another show, like let's change the arena, let's play a smaller arena. They'll notice it, and I think it's something that adds to the atmosphere of the show.
Yeah, agreed.
Like just go back to Hammerstein. Like just do a show at Hammerstein real quick. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Was it GCW show officially sold out there?
Mm-hmm.
Last thing of the week here that I watched, and then we'll get into Zemo's comments here. Ring of Honor, if you watch that, you got Gia Scott versus Roxy, the Briscoes versus Danhausen and PCO, and Jay Lethal versus EC3. Please check it out if you can. I'm going to miss ROH. But in the chat, Zemo says, please tell me you guys brought up New Japan versus Noah. Seems like everyone is ignoring it and rather complain about WWE. I do need to get into it, and I will get into it, I promise, so I can talk about it. Are you guys paying attention to that at all yet, or is it still just something that's kind of on your radar?
Oh, I'm hoping to stream that like on the channel. That's gonna be a great event. I think Wrestle Kingdoms 1 and 2 nights 1 and 2 are Thursday and Friday, so I'm probably not going to, but I'm excited for it. Hopefully it works out. It'll be good for Japanese wrestling, so I'm excited.
I think it's a cool thing. Like I haven't gone too much into it, but I saw the the announcement that it was going to be them versus them. I think that's cool stuff, man. Like when it comes to these other companies that aren't physically WWE, doing that kind of stuff I think benefits, but you can't do it like AEW and Impact. You have to do it where both is beneficial to both, and both seem like they're actual, because you can't go into it saying this one's huge, this one's small, so we're just gonna like shit on the other one, the small one, and not really acknowledge them. You really gotta put it all together and make it beneficial to both. So I think it's cool. I think you should do more of it. I think all these companies, sans WWE, should all do the same stuff. Just keep opening that door, teaming up, doing shows together. I think it's good stuff.
Yeah, completely agree. I definitely think Tony Khan needs to. It's weird. He kind of did. On his side, he did good on the Forbidden Door stuff because his people look strong. I don't think his people rarely lost, even in other promotions. I mean, Kenny Omega literally dropped the AAA title. He could have just lost it. But he definitely needs to learn to give as well. Like, it's okay to let your people lose sometimes. It's okay to give other promotions something so that we have something to look forward to.
Yeah, especially if it's not on your TV. So, I mean, the main reason WWE won't do it is because they want like broadcast rights to someone's name, and there's big lawyer issues and all this other shit. So Tony Khan, yeah, he should definitely start giving a little bit more. I would love to see that. I almost knew exactly how every storyline on Impact was going to happen.
Right.
Zemo's going to miss ROH too. Yeah, it's sad. News and rumors, I really don't have anything much except for now that the Young Bucks have signed an extension with AEW, the next two up are Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes. So we'll see. I'm sure they're both going to sign. I don't know what they do otherwise.
Right. The only one I question is Cody, because like all the quote unquote backstage heat, but I'm sure he'll just resign. Like he's not going back to WWE. So.
But they're like executive. They're all EVPs, right?
In so name are they only now?
Yeah,
in name only. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I wonder if that extends to Brandy too, because she's like chief brand officer. Was Tony Khan like, hey, listen, I'm taking back some power now. Okay, you guys did your job year one. Now it's time for the big suits to play.
Yeah.
Other than that, this is old, but W. Morrissey has he's a free agent, but he's still with Impact. Johnny Gargano, the 10th War Games is his last event, and the 10th he is free to do whatever he wants. He can be Johnny Elite. Where do you guys want to see Johnny Gargano?
You said it, AEW right away. That's it. That's my Christmas shopping done for the year.
Where do you see him, Anthony?
I want to see him at home taking care of his kid at first. I think that's what he'll do most likely, is probably take a lot of time off and take care of his kid. She hasn't given birth yet, correct, Candace? I don't think she has, or has she? No, right? So that's what I'm assuming most. I don't think he'll go sign with somebody else until after the birth. And I honestly think I don't know, because I just feel like AEW is like that spot where like, if you're part of Bullet Club, all right, we're gonna bring you in, you're coming with us type of thing. Or if you if you're on the in. It just, I don't know. For me, he seems more like he'll go to Impact. I don't really think right now they can't take on any more guys. Like they have so many people in rotation. You know, like I mean, like I always say, Pac has got like the best job ever because the guy shows up and then it's gone for like a month or two and then comes back to a storyline real quick, gets a pay-per-view match, and then disappears again. They got a lot of guys like that, and I just don't think that it's really conducive to them to bring him in. I honestly think he'll take a time off, stay with his kid, you know, for a few months, you know, 6, 7, 8 months, and just may go back to WWE. I honestly think,
Okay. If Rampage was live, he could show up on the 10th live. But Zemo says he'd like to see Johnny go to MLW, but he has a feeling that he will sign with AEW. Cody sucks now. Primetime. I want to get to this now. Up in the chats here, you said something, and I got to see where you got this from. You said that WWE is paying for Mox's rehab.
That's right. Yeah, I saw that in the chat.
Is that true?
I just looked it up right now. I'm taking it as word if he's saying that, but that's true. That's really good of them. That's unexpected.
Yeah. Did you?
I mean, they've done that with. I don't know if they've done it with other people contracted other companies at the time, but they've done it with a ton of other people, right? Like I know they funded a lot of people's rehabs.
It is part of their contract. They do offer like services. Even if you've ever worked there once as a performer, then like lifetime you can get rehab from them.
Jake Atlas said after he was let go, even that they paid for a lot of stuff that he had to deal with for mental health, and he thanked them. So I mean, they do offer stuff.
Right, and he does still have a good like. I mean, he doesn't talk about them well, but they're good to him. They want him to come back someday.
Yeah. They haven't burnt that bridge on their side. They have not. Yeah, they're all about it. I mean, they gave him the whole farewell thing with the Shield stuff. Like they really gave him a send off, even though he seemed like he was just didn't want it to happen.
Right. Yeah. According to Ringside News, WWE has picked up the bill for. It says Impact, so that already Impact star John Moxley already kind of this takes away their credibility, but
simple typo.
Check Impact's roster page.
Oh man. Okay.
You got anything?
Well, I was gonna say Supersonic X also says that Johnny should stay home, take care of his wife, and maybe he'll go to ROH. So I want to say, as for my childhood, what I learned is that sometimes being home alone is good for you, even if you're just born. If I was a baby and my dad was going off to AEW, I'd understand. I'll just warm up some macaroni and cheese while my dad can go to work. So I say, Johnny, fuck that kid. Go to work. Solidarity is how you grow strong in this world. Let that baby fend for himself.
All right. Well, that's all for news and rumors. We're not a dirt sheet anyway. So let's get into a quick game here. Anthony over there on the East Coast, us over here on the toasty West Coast. We're going to go back and forth here, and we're going to have matches, and we're just going to pick who you think is the better of the two. And then after we pick, I will reveal which coast they're from. And then we'll tally up and see which coast has the better wrestlers. If there is a tie, vote in the chats. Hit the chats up as quick as you can. Just type. If you just use the first letter of their name, I'll know what you're talking about, but you'll obviously be a tiebreaker. I will not vote. So let's kick it off here. Jacob Fatu versus W. Morrissey. Who do you think is better?
Like the better performer is what we're...
Yes.
Okay, Jacob Fatu.
Okay. Jacob Fatu is a West Coast guy. Next up, China versus Lisa Marie Veron.
China.
Star, China. I mean, yeah.
All right. China is from the East Coast. We're tied. Tough guy, Jim Duggan versus Jim Neidhart.
Jim Neidhart.
I'm picking Jim Duggan.
Ooh.
Okay. We need someone in the chat. First one to hit us up. Jim Duggan or Jim Neidhart.
If you want to convince me, Anthony, you can, because whenever I think of Jim Duggan, because I'm too young, I always think of him just never using that damn 2x4, even though I'd always see him coming out with it. So I
didn't see him use it as a machine gun, Eric. All right, in the chat, so let us know who you have between Jim Duggan and Jim Neidhart. First one to vote gets the victory. Next up, Powerhouse Hobbs or John Silver.
I'm picking Hobbs on.
Okay, Anthony's got Hobbs. Supersonic says Jim Neidhart. Jim Neidhart takes the win. That is a West Coast guy.
Okay. I picked John Silver.
Powerhouse Hobbs and John Silver. Oh, I fucking hate John Silver so much. Someone please vote Powerhouse Hobbs. Help me and Anthony survive this one.
Johnny's hungry. I'll hear JR say any Hobbs catchphrases.
He doesn't need any, that's why. All right. In the chats, Powerhouse Hobbs or piece of crap comedian stealing John Silver. All right. Next up, Beth Phoenix or Candace Larae. Two very different types of styles here. Hobbs, Supersonic, thank you. West Coast Hobbs takes it.
That's a tough one.
I pick Beth. I think, for me,
I guess I'll pick Beth. Yeah.
All right. Beth Phoenix, East Coast gal. Young Bucks or the Dudleys. And this is the Dudleys with Spike, with Sign Guy, with Tie-Dye, every single type of Dudley boy that they have been in the careers. So
it's that seems unfair to the Young Bucks.
Just the main two Dudleys, but whether it's ECW, WWE, wherever they went.
Okay.
Bunch of votes for Beth in there too, definitely.
I don't know. You can go first, Anthony.
I got Dudleys. It could be just because I was young watching the Dudleys, and if I was young now watching the Bucks, I'd probably pick the Bucks. But for me, I think it's the Dudleys. I mean, that's a straight up, for me, that's a straight up game changer team more than the Young Bucks are.
So when you were a young buck, you were watching the Dudleys. I got you.
There you go. Yeah.
I caught the Dudleys. So I get how awesome they are. It's just the Young Bucks, what they did for tag team wrestling today. I'll still pick Dudleys. They did a hell of a lot.
Yeah. East Coast Dudleys take it. TJ Perkins or Odyssey Jones, who might get called up to the main roster in the next couple weeks already.
I have to say TJP because I haven't watched Odyssey Jones enough.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Odyssey Jones is the guy who's 400 pounds, right?
I mean, if you want to JR his stats, yeah, but he's a big guy.
He's a big guy. I'm down with the big guy, man. I am. You need more of those type of guys like that. And he, from what I remember from the breakout tournament, he can move. The guy can move.
He can.
And I like those kind of guys, those big guys that can move. Those Yoko type guys like that, guys that could just they're light on their feet, but they got big frames. I'm down with that. I pick Odyssey Jones.
Okay. Supersonic X has TJP. He takes it.
Damn it.
West Coast. Keith Lee, another big guy who can move. I don't think he uses it just for men anymore because he is
I saw that.
Catches all over. I like it. Show who you are. I like it. Tyler Rust versus the Blade. It's ROH guy, Eric, if you're not familiar.
Okay, I was about to say.
He's the guy that spammed us in our DMs this week.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, in that case,
he said does a get rich quick scheme.
Automatically, the other guy, Tyler Rust, you gotta change your password, bud.
I'm picking the Blade. I'm picking the Blade too on that one. Yeah.
All right.
The Buffalo guy, right?
Yeah, the brass knucks every week.
East Coast Blade takes it. Tommy Dreamer or Timothy Thatcher?
Timothy Thatcher.
Oh, Dreamer! Come on!
I've got so much love for Dreamer, but I can't. I want to study Thatcher. This man knows wrestling.
It's the innovator of violence, man. Come on.
This man gave up his teeth for the business.
Remember what got Dreamer over in ECW? He was getting caned. He's like, police sir can have another. Just getting whacked.
That's true. You might.
Let's see in the chats. Well, who we got in the chats here? Tommy Dreamer or the dentist dodger, Timothy Thatcher?
Britt Baker's just waiting for him to show up.
Yeah, she's that meme with the guy behind the tree. All right, let's get to the next one while the chat decides. Dreamer or Thatcher? Apollo Crews or Bobby Fish?
Bobby Fish.
Damn it. I'm gonna have to go Apollo Crews. I think he just has so much untapped potential. I really saw him break out a little bit character wise when he started the whole Nigerian gimmick. I just thought there's something there that you just got to tap, right? You got to tap into it. And I think it could be so much more. I think Bobby Fish what you see is what you get. the name is funny. Bobby Fish. You could put easy merch, right? Just put like the fish and skeleton fish and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just think Apollo, there's something to him. The athleticism, the size, the look, obviously has all in his favor, but there's something there untapped. I pick Apollo Crews.
All right, we're 1-on-1 there, so we'll wait for the chats to decide Apollo Crews or Bobby Fish. Triple H knew what to do with Apollo Crews in NXT, but then he was one of the weird ones that got called up for some random reason. Next up, Chris Statlander versus Shotzi Blackheart. I'm sticking with her last name because it's cool.
Did they take away her last name?
Yeah.
That's so stupid. Shotzi.
I pick Shotzi as well. I'm not a fan of the alien gimmick thing.
Stupidest gimmick in wrestling. Shotzi from the West Coast takes it. Tony Nese or Jake Atlas?
Tony Nese.
Ooh, we're 1-1.
Oh, 1-1. All right. In the chats decide Tony Nese or Jake Atlas, who is better. Next up, Jungle Boy or Max Caster?
Jungle Boy. That guy's star written all over him.
Absolutely. I think there's a ceiling on Max Caster. Jungle Boy is going to be main eventing.
Yeah, I agree. West Coast Jungle Boy. Seen him around town a few times. Next up, Zelena Vega versus Mia Yam. Who do you have for this one?
Zelena Vega. Attitude.
Ooh.
Yeah, Zelena Vega.
And you know where she's from. That's East Coast right there. And last one, Stone Cold Steve Austin or Chris Jericho. Who do you have?
Does that include today's Chris Jericho?
It includes all Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I gotta pick Stone Cold.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could ever go against Stone Cold. I mean, it's too much. It's just too much star power right there.
Stone Cold from the West Coast. All right, in the chats we have a few just to make up here. Apollo Crews or Bobby Fish, Tommy Dreamer or Timothy Thatcher, and Tony Nese or Jake Atlas. Supersonic, I see you chatting right there. Hit us up with those three. I'm gonna pick Tommy Dreamer over Timothy Thatcher. East Coast Dreamer will take that one. I mean, so many different brands. He's been on a lot of different brands. Yeah, really, really a lot. Apollo Crews or Bobby Fish or Tony Nese or Jake Atlas. Anyone in the chats want to hit that up? Yeah, let me just tell you.
Wait. I'm sorry. You just so those two were letting the crowd pick, but you just kind of you use your magic host powers to make sure Timothy Thatcher loses.
Yeah.
You're not
unless you can sell the other
match ever again.
It's Dreamer.
I probably
man.
won't.
Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, and according to Vince, I probably won't watch any of his matches.
No, I'm fine with it. It's a close one. Tommy Dreamer's awesome. I liked him. He was the only reason I watched WWE ECW.
There you go.
All right. We'll see if chats come in for that. Otherwise, we'll wait, and then I'll tell you who has the better coast at the end of the show. But Anthony, you have a question about The Rock and WWE. What is that?
I understand why they didn't have him come out at the Survivor Series, right? It's a ton of teasing. It didn't really warrant it. I mean, it didn't, like, for the people live, right? People, like, they just want to see him come out at the end and go face to face Roman. If they are teasing for that to happen, probably at Rumble time or something like that, and then Lesnar be the stopgap between that, I understand it. But it's just so campy and corny the way they did it, because it was like punch you in the face, boom, 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 with The Rock the whole night. 25th anniversary of the Golden Egg from a super whatever movie and from Red Notice. I mean, I just saw it like a couple days ago. It's like whatever movie, but super like but yeah, I just the question is he or is he not coming back? And I'm interested to see what you guys think about the way. Did you think he should have come back in Survivor Series, or was it better for them to hold off? And the stuff that they were doing at Survivor Series, were you a fan of it or not?
So I can't answer if I'm a fan of it or because I just read the results.
Okay.
So I don't know how the actual match between he and Big E went. I think Paul Heyman sold it like it was a great showing for both of them. But I wouldn't have liked him to come out because I think this was like Big E's first pay-per-view as champion, right? Or second?
I can't. Again, everything blends together.
I think it's the second pay-per-view champion.
Right. I don't like when a match happens and it's a big moment for someone. Like, this is still a big moment for Big E, even if it's second. and then immediately you erase that moment. You wash it away with another big moment. So I'm cool with them just letting that sit. Big E and Roman had a match. I don't think The Rock needed to wash away that moment.
Yeah, I agree with that. So he wasn't there because of Young Rock. He was wrapping that up. I wasn't a fan of the egg. I was really not a fan of it tipping into the next night on Raw and dealing with that for 2.5 hours again. It was a courtesy because of they wanted goodwill with The Rock, but I also feel that once they found out that The Rock wasn't coming, that's when Nia Jax was added to the list of people to let go. I don't know if they're even full on sure that The Rock will appear at a WrestleMania again. If it does, it won't be the next one in Dallas. It'll be the next one in LA, if anything. But again, he is really trying to build his $7 Productions and doing more movies like Red Notice for Netflix. So this is secondary to him. So I have no idea. I wouldn't even talk about it at all. So
the timing of the egg was also horrible. Like, there's so many memes about like, should we fire people or should we get this new golden egg? Like, the timing was just bad. So good job, WWE. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if The Rock never comes back. He's like hella busy. Besides his productions, he's also basically rebuilding XFL. So
yeah,
that is true. Yeah, he's got a lot on his plate. But I mean, they honestly will only need him for the training aspect of it. Getting back in ring shape is probably the most out of it. Yeah, so
right.
Yeah.
And with the amount of money he makes, maybe he could do it. Private jets back and forth, boom, 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 knock it all out.
Right.
You probably get a private jet with a ring in it and then practice in the air while he gets his next movie. A ton of stuff. I mean, the guy has a gym that travels with him. I think he can get it done.
That's
yeah.
True. Yeah.
Who knows?
Do you guys think he should be the end game for Roman, or do you think it should be more organic with the people that they have now?
I think it should definitely be someone they have now. I think they go to the past way too much, and
Yep.
if you made this giant persona in Roman Reigns, and you basically say, well, listen, guys, I know we've got Finn Balor and Kevin Owens and all this amazing talent, but you guys just don't pass mustard. You guys, let the past guy, let the guy who's so busy making movies that he's not here, let him take care of this.
I think they've booked themselves into having him have to be the end game. I think it's self-inflicted wound there that, they're in the end game now, or he has to be the end game because they have yet to book anybody that's believably able to beat Roman Reigns. Like, I honestly, it's crazy the fact that Brock Lesnar comes back and he kind of doesn't seem like he's even viable to beat Roman Reigns at this period in time. So I think it's just, and not to say The Rock is either, but it just seems like that's probably the highest they can go with it, the furthest they can go with it, and the only direction they can go with it, because they're so bad at booking everybody else and not making anybody seem like they're even in the same stratosphere as Roman Reigns. He's just like probably like 10 levels above everybody else on all fronts. And I just think it's on them.
So so let me ask then, do you think you could take, if you could pick any wrestler in WWE, I guess it has to be a male, unfortunately. Let's just say you can even pick a woman. Let's say for some reason they want to do a mixed gender match. If you could pick any wrestler in WWE right now, you give them from now till Mania to build them up to take the title from Roman. Do you think you could successfully do it? You could convince the crowd that this person could do it? And who would it be?
If you have that much time, yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's totally possible with the correct booking, the correct storylines, the correct build. It is totally possible to get anybody within that year's time to be able to not beat Roman and be on the same level as Roman afterwards. I don't think that's possible yet. I think somebody viable to actually take the title off of him and not be booed out of the building for doing so or be hated by everybody. It's got to be a certain person that's liked by fans, underutilized, and has all the tools to be able to get to that level. I think, honestly, if you were to kind of switch up Drew McIntyre just a bit and then kind of rebuild him a little bit and not go so heavy into the whole Scottish thing, not play so much into that with the sword and all that stuff, I think he could be a guy because he has the physical stature and he's very well on the mic. I think he's very believable. I honestly think, I've always said this, I think Ricochet is a guy he's terrible on the mic. He honestly is pretty bad, and I hate to say that, right? I just think he hasn't found his voice. I don't think he's naturally that bad. I think he just hasn't found his voice. But I've always said I think he could be a good guy, smaller good guy who's very, very good at fighting from underneath and getting those wins against a bigger guy. I'm always into the David versus Goliath matchup. I think it works well anywhere you put it, anytime you put it, because it's a timeless tale. I think it can work with anybody. I think Ricochet's a guy, if you could build him properly, him, maybe a Finn Balor, smaller guys like that to take the title off of Reigns, I think may work better than a guy his same size. And I think you could go with it, but there's only a handful of guys you could probably do it with. But I always thought Ricochet a guy who would be a perfect opponent to beat a Brock Lesnar, or a massive guy like that who could fight from underneath, really play up the crowd. The crowd gets into it. They get hyped up when he starts making his comebacks, gets destroyed, comes back again, gets destroyed, and eventually sneaks out the win. Nobody's going to beat Roman straight up, clean, finisher, done. I think they got to beat him in kind of a shock factor way.
Right.
Yeah, not just boom, hit your finisher, and then he pins him like that. It's got to be somewhere where you don't expect it to happen.
I could buy that. Yeah, Ricochet's proven he can handle the bigger, like those David Goliath matches. I think, him versus Brock was it was short, but it was a good match. Like
they could have done. And I said on Twitter, I think Ricochet should have won that Battle Royal at the Survivor Series. Like that was the perfect time for him to win that rather than Omos. Like. That would have been the perfect time to build on that David versus Goliath matchup, have him work from underneath, really shock everybody, and get him into a spot where he could actually, kind of build on top of that. But he's a guy, like I said, he's not good on the mic right now, but maybe he can find his voice if they have him say less and change up his delivery or something like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that.
Eric, I think it's funny you mentioned that you said scratch that, include a woman, because that's one thing that I was thinking when watching Charlotte on having her Thanksgiving fight with Toni Storm on SmackDown. I don't know where they put Charlotte, and they put her in a position, and her fight with Becky is putting her in an odd position. And now that you mention it, I think it's the perfect position to have her just want to become everything in WWE and go after Roman Reigns. I think that would be awesome. I think she could handle it. If you start the build now all the way to Mania, I think that'd be one hell of a main event. And the fact that that'd probably be one of their, I know they've done intergender matches before, but I mean, this would be their very first legit intergender match.
Right. I mean, the scary thing about intergender matches, at least when you're WWE, is that the woman has to always win. Like on the indies, Johnny Gargano can beat Candace LeRae because that's the indies. No one cares about logic, or sensitivity. But on TV, Charlotte beating Roman, that's probably what they want. And I think they've built Charlotte up enough to where we could believe it out of every woman on the roster. So I'd take it. They could convince me on it. I'd be willing to listen.
Yeah. In the chats, Primetime says it has to be The Rock. There's no one else. Is Roman the greatest of all time if he beats The Rock at WrestleMania, in your opinion? No. I'm sorry to say it so definitively, but no, nowhere close. He's S-class. He's a top-tier sports entertainer. He's great at playing a character, but I don't think he works without strict guidance. Would you put him in a Mount Rushmore, Anthony?
No, not yet. He has to put more time in like on what we've seen him do now. I'm not counting any other stuff nobody liked. If you turn accomplishments in there, maybe he can creep in. If you look at it that way, but in terms of like him being actually interesting to watch and have an impact like that, I mean, he's on that. There's only a handful of individuals who have completely dominated their roster or the company in the eras they've been in. He's one of them right now because nobody's really on his level. So if he continues that for another 4-5 years, I've said you could hold on to the title for 3 years and I'd be cool with it. A 3-year run as him as champion, I think that would be awesome. I think it'd be cool. If he's able to put something like that together when it goes 3 years, 4 more years going down the road, I think you could maybe make an argument to put him there as like the 5th out of the crew. Like, if you put him in the top 5, he would be on the bottom part of that 5, but he'd be there.
Yeah.
Just need more matches from him and quicker intros. I get a little antsy watching him walk to the ring. But yeah. The Rock. I guess we don't need The Rock, but some people do want him. We'll see what they do with The Rock. But I am sure he's going to be concentrated on Hollywood, especially with Black Adam and promoting and doing new stuff and all this other stuff. So we'll see. WWE loves him so much. They're holding on. Yeah. So that is it. We are now at the last segment of the show. It is time for promo school. Anthony, how are you feeling right now?
I'm okay. I feel okay.
Okay. I'm not going to do anything to you. It's okay. Anthony, are you comfortable doing a promo right now? 30 seconds ish.
Maybe if I want to embarrass myself, I guess.
I embarrass myself every week with this guy's segment. So
it is what it is, yeah.
All right, you two are gonna fight each other. But when both of you give a promo, you are facing the person from that side. So Eric, when you give your promo, you are going to be facing Anthony on the East Coast. Anthony, when you give your promo, you're gonna be facing Eric over here on the West Coast. So I guess mainly use whatever you want in the matchup. Again, 30 seconds, just nice and quick. But if there's any digs that you want to take on either coast or Anthony, you can fair game to do whatever you want in your promo. So, swear, do whatever you want. Use any kind of verbiage. But if you guys are down for it, East versus West right here.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. All right.
Whoever wants to go first.
You want me to go first, or you want?
You can go first, Eric. You can go first.
All right.
I'll let you embarrass yourself first before I embarrass myself even more.
I dig
worse,
it.
yeah.
I dig it. It's how Knock gets away with it every week. Alrighty. Zach, I like you. I really do. I look up to you in some ways. I think you're wise. I think you're smart. But I just don't understand this match. I don't understand why you got me fighting Anthony. I don't understand why you got me fighting the East Coast. I don't get it. You got me representing the West Coast, and we all know West is best. We all know that. That's how it goes. That's how the world sees it. But you got me fighting Anthony, and you got me about to embarrass him. You got me about to embarrass the entire coast. You're about to start a civil war. Do you know that? Do you realize that they are about to secede from the damn union because of you, Zach? What you've done. You have committed a crime. The police are on their way because you've committed a crime. You committed a crime. Anthony, I'm sorry to say this, man, but I don't think you understand the danger you're in. You go to sleep 3 hours before me. When you're asleep, I'm awake. I'm training. I'm working. Oh, Lord. On the East Coast. Y'all, who's the best you guys got over there? Eddie Kingston? You gonna tag in Eddie Kingston? With his gut full of pizza that y'all got over there? I'm sorry. But this is over. This is absolute done. And that's the best I've got.
No problem. All right, Anthony, whenever you are ready, you can make it as short and sweet as you'd like.
All right. Eric, I've heard every single thing you've had to say. Every single word I've heard a million times from you guys on the West Coast. And the fact of the matter is that you guys on the West Coast don't know what it's like to grind, to be out there in the elements. You guys got nice sunshine every single day of your life. You wake up in the morning, you have the birds chirping, the sun is out, not a cloud in the sky. You go out with shorts on. We come out 6 months out of the year, sweatpants, long johns underneath, some Timbs on, long sleeve shirts, hoodies, out there working with our hands nonstop. You guys don't know about the grind. You say that when I'm asleep, you're awake. Well, when I wake up at 8 in the morning, it's like I'm waking up at 5 a.m. West Coast, ready to grind day in and day out. You West Coast guys is too soft. You ain't about the grind like these New Yorkers, these East Coast guys like me, like guys like Knock, those guys like that. You're no match for us, never have, never will be. This match will be over quicker than the Lakers getting clapped by the Sacramento Kings.
Ooh, got that cheap Pete in there. I dig that.
There you go. It'll be quicker than that. It'll be over quicker than LeBron's run in Los Angeles as the top team in the West. Remember that. Go to sleep knowing that. and wake up the day of our match knowing that you stand no chance in the ring and it's on East Coast time?
God damn, I think I can see that one. That's a win for you. I'll give you that one. I want Knock to hear that back. You'll be proud of that.
Anthony, you heard us so bad on the West Coast that we're going to do the most West Coast thing possible, pop a bunch of pills and talk to our therapist.
There you go.
Oh man, props to you. There was this game, Phoenix Wright, right? And somebody made an online version of it where it's just people trying to lawyer each other, like in cases. And I remember one time I made an argument, a logical argument, but I knew that there was one flaw in it. And I was like, I hope this person doesn't pick up on it. When I said that I go to sleep before you, or you go to sleep before me, I was like, I hope he doesn't realize that means that he wakes up before me.
Technically, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. Technically.
Well done, Anthony. That was good.
That was fun.
All right, that's it for the episode. That's episode 85. Anthony, I can't thank you enough for coming on and being a part of this episode. We love having you. Open door policy. If you're ever bored, you can always come on. Again, Rated R For Rasslin is the YouTube station. Anything you want to say to the people before we end off here?
Yeah, thanks you guys again. Always love being on your guys' channel. Always love having you guys on my channel. We've done a lot of these together, and it's always been a ton of fun. These guys are some of the most fun guys on YouTube. Awesome channel. Very, very, cover a lot of different things when it comes to pop culture, wrestling, all that stuff. Have a lot of great takes on a lot of this cool stuff. My channel, you know what it is. It's changed a little bit. You're gonna see my face more. So again, send your hate tweets to WWE because they've pissed me off. They've hurt me deep. They've cut me deep by blocking a ton of my videos for random copyright issues. But again, I appreciate you guys for having me on. It's always a blast, and can't wait to do it again.
Hell yeah!
Of course, definitely.
Eric, any last words before we sign off here?
I guess. For like Anthony said, Zach's been carrying the channel, so definitely subscribe. So Friday you can catch that Rampage stream. It's always entertaining. In the chat, Primetime, I saw that you were asking about what happened to Stacy. For those of you who don't know, when the channel first started, and I was the predictions champion for so long. I let the power go to my head. The Justice League, we were in a bad place. You could call us the heels. I think we were the faces of all time. But Stacy was my assistant who I might have mistreated a little bit, a tiny bit. I don't think I did. But apparently she sued me after I lost the championship. She took everything, the offices, everything. So Stacy's living fine, Primetime, just so you know. But that led to me turning face, as you people would say.
You just fixed Cody Rhodes right there. All right, everyone. This has been a blast. Again, Anthony, Rated R For Rasslin is the YouTube channel. Go check it out. Subscribe. Support his station. He's got a lot of great videos still up there that WWE hasn't and cannot touch. So definitely check it out. Thank you again, Anthony, for being on. Thank you, everyone, for being in the chat. Hit subscribe, those bell icons, so you can have fun with us Friday nights and check out the content we have coming towards you in the future. And that's been it. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
That's right. And Zach, where can they catch us?
They can catch us wearing wool hats, very big down feathered jackets, shoveling our car out of black snow early in the morning just so we can leave 2 hours earlier for work to get there on time. Oh, wait, that's not us. That's you guys over there on the East Coast. I'm sorry.
You guys don't know nothing about that. You guys don't know nothing about that.
We're catching rays, baby, all week. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a great week and be excellent to each other.
Peace out.